All right, so we're back with Most Valuable Asset Part 6. And this is, believe it or not, going to be very intense to a certain degree. So without further ado, remember, your most valuable asset is people. Part 6, Joseph Ganchar with Ganchar Enterprise. So here we go. So successful people develop others with the right resources to their people. And what does this all come down to? Is basically when you have an organization or when you have a culture already established in knowing that you cannot also do everything by yourself, you're going to need other people. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to actually see in the marketplace potential in people that they don't see the potential in themselves. Then you're going to kind of fill them out. And then we're going to go through that a little bit here. And then what's going to happen is that you're going to actually have the ability to give them the right resources to the right people so that your organization can not only succeed, but thrive in no matter what times that are given. So working out, where is the person the best fit? So is this person the best fit, but where? Okay. So you got to find out the person's strengths and weaknesses and what does this all kind of look like? Well, the first question that you would ask yourself is, well, how do you find this out? Where does this all kind of come into play? How are we able to come in and say, you're over here, we need you over there, and this is how it's all going to happen? We have no idea what's going to happen. Well, now you got a plan to execute. Now you actually have the tools and resources to say, hey, here you go, and we're going to help you succeed down this path. Okay? So, is this person faithful? You have to ask your preliminary questions to yourself before you even think about actually doing this to someone in an organization that you might think that would be a suitable candidate. So, is this person faithful? Are they a productive member to any team that they are part of? So, no matter where they fit or are they placed, are they actually productive, effective, and efficient in the sense of knowing, hey, this is my role, this is my lane, I go hard, I do whatever I can to make sure that others are able to actually fully experience that true camaraderie, cultured chemistry team playing. Like you look at any sports team, each player knows their role, regardless of what has happened in the past. If an organization's rebuilding, okay, we'll look at the Bulls for an example. Michael Jordan, great player. Next thing you know, he goes and does his thing, goes into the arena of what? Baseball, because of, having to deal with some personal things that he wanted to sort out. So he went and did that, came back, and things were just not the same. He realized one thing. We can put the ball in the hoop, but we really, really, really lack defense. He literally sought out the most outrageous rebounder ever. And by golly, I tell you that character was extremely colorful and still is to this day. And that's Dennis Rodman. Michael Jordan sought out Dennis Rodman to make sure that this guy is going to be the asset in this big lane for that organization to not only succeed, but have a legacy. They not only won one, but multiple championships. Why? Because they all knew what they were capable of doing. They all knew their strengths. They all knew their weaknesses, and they continued to push through and to develop themselves. Okay. You can go in and you can hear how Scottie Pippen trained, how Michael Jordan trained, how Dennis Rodman trained, and even all these other players, trained. Why? Because they wanted to become the best of the best. So, is this person faithful? Never underestimate the fact that some of the most valuable people in an organization are never fully utilized in their greatest strengths because the leadership or the organization itself is not capable, and not in the sense of, oh, well, we just can't do it. No, they're just not capable in the sense of being able to roll this out because they don't have the proper tools and resources themselves to recognize this within their organization. So how do you actually bring this all together and present that forward? Well, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to figure it out with the proper processes in place in the sense of having preliminary questions. Then you're going to be able to assess the person. And then what you're going to do is you're going to seek out, or you're going to really pursue the tools and resources that you know that are available in today's marketplace to allow those key individuals in your organization that are potentially underestimated or underutilized to then be able to develop their strengths, to then you're able to exploit them in a very productive, effective manner in your organization to succeed, because the market is just going to be extremely competitive in the next 3 to 5 years. So, and not last but not least, we got to go back here. So to prevent this from happening, take the following into consideration. And what we're going to show you is something kind of wild here. So don't get all overwhelmed by the picture. It's just basically someone saying, I have to give them myself. And what does this actually mean? I give them myself. It's not that you're actually giving out yourself. No, it's just saying, I'm going to be giving myself the opportunity for those that never had access to me to see me in a potentially different manner. Okay. We're going to spend a little bit more time, get to know me. I can get to know you, get to understand your strengths, get to understand your weaknesses, and vice versa. So now you have this cadence, this walking type of a mechanism in place where there's a rhythm. And then all of a sudden you're able to move forward and then progress. And then that speeds up. And the next thing you know, you're really, really turning over high revenue margins. Okay. So can you impress people and impact them up close and not just at a distance? This is going to be the telltale sign right here. Okay. Also, did you initiate the time or did they initiate the time? And see, there's a big misconception there. So you have to really understand what's going on here behind the scenes. You know, who's really trying to set the stage and who's really trying to potentially make an impression. Okay. Was there an agenda before the meeting? Now, here's the other thing. An agenda. What do you mean by agenda? This is not meaning like, oh, I'm going to go and look out for myself. No, like, did you actually plan this meeting in the sense of actually having a plan to roll out? This is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to bring forward. This is how I wanted to roll it out. This is how it's all going to come into fruition. And then also, was the meeting a win-win? It's just that simple. Was this meeting a win-win? You must give them ownership, or I must give them ownership. That doesn't mean ownership of the position or whatever. That says I must give them ownership over what they are responsible for, or what I'm going to hold them accountable for. This means that you're not going to micromanage them. You're not going to continuously choke them out in the sense of, well, you have to have things done in this way and in that manner, and it has to be done no matter what. That has to be the result. No. You have to give them ownership. Let them run in a reign or in an arena that allows them to just, hey, this is my rhythm. This is my pace. This is what I'm able to do. And then as you're massaging everything out, you're clearing out all of this nonsense and all of this, so-called distractions. Okay. You have to allow them to experience that freedom. So never forget to love everyone with only giving the top 20% of the producers within that organization or that company getting access to your time. Love everyone. Make sure that they understand that you care about them and, they're acknowledged and they're, hey, how you doing? Don't forget about everybody, okay? But only allocate your time to the top 20% of those producers in your organization. Because here's the reality of it. People want to be appreciated, not impressed. They want to be valued. They want to be respected, right? But here's the thing. Just appreciate me. I don't want to be impressed. Put that all to the side. Okay? And remember, people want to feel like they are really making a difference. Not just being told this, but they also want to see it. Like, how am I actually making a difference? Is this actually something that I can say, wow, I'm a part of something great? Okay, so I must give them every chance to succeed. And this is going to be quite scary because here's the thing. I understand that there's also very limited information, right? Coming down, going up, and how it's all kind of transpired into one way or another. So here's the question that has to be had. Are they in the best environment for them to really excel? Is this person able to fully excel in where I'm actually positioning them in the organization, or would they be a better fit in another department, etc.? So do they have absolutely everything what they need to do and to apply and to utilize for everything to go well? That's the question that has to be asked. Do you actually have everything? Do they actually have everything that they need? And not just roll it out, but actually like, wow, like we were able to get this done very well. Like it was presented very well. You'll go to any kind of restaurant, you'll actually see, oh, the service was bad right from the get-go. The hostess was terrible. The waiter was terrible. The waitress, she didn't follow through on certain things. The kitchen was a mess. You can pick it all apart. Or did you have that 1, 2, or 3 Michelin star experience where you walked in through the door and it was just pristine right through? Okay. Are they continuously challenged to improve themselves through upgrading and training or personal development? And that's just how you're going to continue to grow and establish a depth in an organization where you're able to actually see things come into fruition in the sense of, look, we're excelling, we're doing great, but here's the problem. This person, they're going on maternity leave, or that person has a very unfortunate situation at home that they're dealing with someone that's critically ill, so they're going to be away for a while. What is the depth of your bench? What is the depth of your organization in the sense of being able to continuously collaboratively work together and then move forward and still hold true to that vision, that mission, and those timeframes to continuously produce high revenue? Okay, that's what this is all about. Then you have to understand, why is this actually happening? So the greatest leveraging point to understand is great leaders will always set up their people to have a running head start over those who work for leaders that coast in any industry. So for an organization to always want to make sure to say, hey, here you have this, here you have that, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to give you the tools and resources. And now you're able to really roll out and really push through everything. How? Because you have everything that you need. And it's an open arms, essentially, for you to succeed in, because it's given to you. The greatest leaders actually will give you all the tools and resources for you, not just hands-on, but in mentally, in aspects of, hey, I had this training, I was given that conference, I was given this seminar, I was able to be exposed to this and to that, and how things were able to continuously develop and mature. How? From the leadership having trust in those that have proved themselves faithful. It doesn't get earned and doesn't get given to everyone, because not everyone has a pure intention. Okay? So that's how you see certain organizations really excel in certain industries, and other organizations would be mirrored, and then all of a sudden they just collapse. That's why. So the greatest leaders are always adding value to their people to become better. This is essentially getting more high-level coaching and practices before any game that a team at any level would do to win that championship. So this is simply getting more reps in, just making sure that people are actually able to fully get engaged and just roll out and just have that stamina to just continuously push through whatever it could be, the third and fourth quarter of the year, or maybe it could be a real downturn in certain economic situations. It doesn't matter. Whatever the cycles are, if they're in year formats or month formats, this will determine who will rise and who will fall by the leaders on what the resources that they're going to give their people. So with all of that, most valuable asset part 7, my personal favorite, this whole series, we're going to be back 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Until next time, work hard, stay humble, stay true.